Today, we talk about.
It's clear my mind.
Do you still do? I know I see you at open mics all the time, but do you still do open mics?
Of course, I ain't shit. I have to.
Well, I'm saying because I don't ever see you at the open mics I've been to, so I don't know what kind of circuits
you
you're
go to.
Usually Manhattan. Lately, I've been trying to branch out. I went to Eastville Comedy Club in Brooklyn for the first time yesterday.
Okay.
So I really want to start hitting that Brooklyn and Queens circuit a little bit heavier. And actually, I really want to hit the Red Lobster, Mocha's, and Harlem Nights. Apparently, the Red Lobster by the Apollo has open mics on Mondays.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So I'm trying to. Miles Toad told me about that. So I'm trying to. Go
You never did Mocha before?
No.
I love Mocha has a good.
You've done it?
reputation.
Of course.
No, I've.
You never done it either?
I was hanging out with Miles, kind of.
So you've seen it?
Derek, and then so they tell me all about it.
Yeah. It's,
You've done it, I'm assuming?
Of course. It's,
I want to hear your experience with it.
I mean, my first time doing it, I had a pretty solid experience, but it's one of those rooms where like it can go any direction at any minute. Because Smokey's such a dope host and he's so funny up top, and then the way the room is set up, it's not like of course it's a bar or whatever, but you're like in the middle of everything. So there's people that's not there for comedy. And then you also said Harlem Nights, right?
Yeah.
Harlem Nights is another example of that. So because of it's a bar setting, you have the people that know that there's a comedy show going on that's there, but you're kind of fighting with the people that aren't there for it. But because with Mocha, it's Smokey's room, so people know, okay, like majority of them aren't there for comedy, so it's better.
Gotcha.
But like with a room like a Harlem Nights, the stage is elevated, there's TVs on, and like it's always packed out, and there's always people talking. It gets crazy.
Yeah.
It gets crazy.
But I feel like you need that because like just like any other aspect of stand-up, I feel like I don't like the attitude of like, yo, the crowd needs to be better. Nah, dude. Like, you need to learn how to craft a skill to be able to captivate those people that don't give a shit. Like, So that's why I'm excited to do it eventually.
You have to.
So,
you have to.
Bar None, it's on Tuesdays.
Yeah, I've done that one.
Yeah, that one.
Similar.
That one's been referred to as a mini Mocha.
I've heard about. Yeah. I've heard. You know what's crazy? They used to do the mic in the back, because y'all know who not Samantha Reddy. I'm bugging. Samantha Bednarz. Okay, well they do run a weekly at Bar None, and it's in the space in the back. So naturally, when I heard about the mic, I thought that the mic was also going to be in the back as well. And then I get there, I'm like, hey, where's the mic? He's like, oh, it's here. I'm like, no. And then I just like left another mic. But I've heard it gets rowdy.
I actually don't mind that.
I love that mic though. It's just because you learn and you hecklers.
Not only that, it's just refreshing not to have just the same open micers there on their phone the whole time.
That is true. But for me, it's like I don't mind that environment. But if it's like a mic, and like when I go into a mic, I'm going specifically to work out the material that I've written. Right. I don't mind doing shows where it's rowdy and stuff like that, because my mind's like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna just get up there and work my improv and just see if I could pull something from the crowd. You understand? But like I said, if I'm going to a mic, it's not about that. I actually have material that I want to work out with. So even if it's in front of a bunch of comedians that aren't really paying attention, I need some form of control to get these jokes out and then do what I got to do. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
Do you have a favorite mic?
Favorite mic? I used to. You want to know what's a really dope mic? I don't go there anymore, but it still packs out. Y'all know Brooklyn House of Comedy?
Haven't heard of that.
Brooklyn House? No. Okay. Shout out to my good friend of mine, Joanna Briley. She's like the head runner of that room. Every Wednesday at 6:30. But like it's become such a popular mic now. There are people that camp out from like 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Exactly. So the way the room is set up.
Bucket?
Yeah. Well, no. So the first 5 people that get there, you go up in order, right? But then after that, it's just a toss-up. And it's like, when I tell you people there from like 6 to like 9:30, 10, it's insane. But when I used to go there, I don't go there anymore. When I used to go there, it was dope. Like, everyone listens. Like, and you actually get feedback. And I made some really dope friends from that room, too. I haven't been there in a while.
Why'd you stop going?
Because it got so crazy to like when I used to go there earlier on, and like when I first started, it was still low key. Nobody really knew about it. Okay. So it was still a good amount of people that came through, but I knew I was getting up early at an earlier time versus I'm gonna spend my whole night here. But now, like I said, people came out from like 3 to 4. They have a whole group chat where you got to send a picture to let them know that you're like it's crazy.
Is it on free mics?
It should be, I believe so. Yeah, it is.
What day of the week is that?
Wednesday. Every Wednesday at 6:30. So
maybe I'll go to that. After
yeah.
This. Actually, no, I got one other dude coming through after this, after you guys, but maybe another week.
The Pit is also a good place to do mics as well. The Attic. They have
we've done the Pit, right? in the attic. Dope. Harry Potter's hidden closet.
Now it's the summer. There's no AC there.
No.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite mic?
I don't know. I'm in slightly different opinion than you. I think there's good rooms for certain things. Yes, I think there's some rooms that you can work on material. And I like other rooms to work on crowd work, just stage presence, and just being in a hostile environment like a bar none, you know. And then I want to check out Mocha. But I do like things for different rooms. I love the variety mics.
Okay.
Because like under St. Mark's, and there's a new one at the Pit. It's on Monday nights.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. Very dope.
Electric Stage. That one's really fun because you have musicians, you have guys just going up reading newspaper articles from the 1940s as a performance art, and so it's a mix of a room, and so it's just kind of you gauge how your material works in front of non-comics, and that's refreshing, and you just see a lot of weird things, and I've seen a lot of character acts, and I've seen a guy pull down his pants as a part of a character act.
Yep.
Probably know this guy I'm talking about.
That's crazy, bro.
And so it's just to me, it's very New York, because you see so many crazy different things, and a lot of vibrant personalities, a lot of different people. Well, I would say if I had to have a favorite mic, I would say it's just Otto's Jimmy Peoples.
That's been one of my favorites.
I've heard about that.
Sure.
Is that's every...
Jimmy Peoples every day, every weekday, Monday through Friday from 3 to 5ish.
Oh man,
that one is dope.
It's really fun. I guest hosted it twice, 2-3 weeks ago, and one day I dressed up as Jimmy. And people lost it.
Does he have a specific?
Yes, he wears dad jeans, a zip-up hoodie, and dad sneakers.
Hilarious. Okay.
So, actually, New Balances. So I kind of dressed it up in that, and then people were losing it. Like,
was he there?
No, he wasn't there. That's why it's fun. And so I try to. So he's very disrespectful during your set. So he'll eat during that. So I specifically bought food to eat during the set, and then run it. It's very fun. It's just I like that because he kind of runs it and he manages the energy very well.
Okay.
Like a lot of the veterans or the guys that are doing clubs still, that still roll through there, he'll put them on first. Guys that have been coming regularly to the mic, guys have been doing well recently. New guys he'll put dead last at the end, and he'll try to break them first. And so it kind of weeds out a lot of people to it. And so that was me for a long time.
Okay.
So I always go last, but I never the one to complain or anything. It's just kind of.
Yeah, people do bitch. Towards the end of the mic, you'll get that classic 3-4 comics that just bitch at Jimmy for being put last. Like,
Does he say anything about it, or he's kind of just like...
No, he just rolls with it. But that's the cool thing about Jimmy and that mic. It's just like, it's a great energy. I feel like it's a great place to try new material because the room is typically pretty packed. I don't know what it's been like lately. The past few times I went, it was kind of dead, actually. But certain days of the week, I feel like it's just kind of hit or miss. But for the most part, at least for a good chunk of the time I was going there, it was pretty packed.
Every day, though. Gotta believe, right?
And then Phoenix, the one at Phoenix on Friday. So I heard the host there is amazing.
Phoenix, I didn't even know there was, like, if you go on free mics, the only mics...
the host is actually me.
Oh, okay. Is this new? Did you just start doing it?
So it used to be Sam Hattis.
Okay.
And then so I go there a lot. I built so it's run by Lisa Harmon, like all those mics, and then I kind of just guest host there. Oh. And so it's just great for networking. And there's not a lot of mics on Friday nights, so a lot.
That's what I was about to say. You go on free mics, it's just Laughing Buddha, a couple of them, and then that's it. So I got to check that one out.
Yeah, that was good. And I might start hosting another mic on Monday.
Okay.
Which hasn't been confirmed yet, so I don't want to leak.
Dope.
So yeah, it's just I love hosting mics because it's just you get to see a lot, and it's a lot of great networking too.
Yeah, definitely.
And a lot of times I'm not like other New York comedians where it was me that I do my set, I'll leave. I was like stay and hang out a little bit. I try to.
Yeah.
Unless I have somewhere else to really go.
Yeah, I used to think that. Like, I remember my first mic, I saw a comic go up, and they just left right after. And at first I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Who's leaving after this show? I thought it was just like a show, right? And then next thing I know, it's like, nah, dude, there's like 18 open mics every day, and people just run to the next mic, and they don't have time for this horse shit, Right. So...
What do you think is because I know there's like an unspoken law when it comes to mics where it's like, once you get off stage, if you want to leave, you have to wait after a certain amount of comedians go up. What do y'all think the number? I think it's 2 to 3. That's me.
Personally,
that's kind of me too. That's what I average.
Right?
Yeah.
Where I'm at, I'm out.
Right after?
I'm so done, man. Like I'm just done with this stage of open mics.
Right.
And I think it's a few different factors. First of all, I have a whole nother life.
Yeah.
Right.
That like going from that to this is just super humbling and just like, what am I doing here? So that builds in some bitterness automatically. Secondly, not to toot my own horn, but just in the 6 months that I've been doing stand-up, I've progressed way quicker than I thought I would.
Okay, dope.
And on top of that, it's like I'm starting to recognize more and more patterns. And as I go to more and more regular shows where I'm actually seeing people either I like or people that are just good that I didn't know about before, starting to pick up more from them. And then when I go back to the open mics, I'm like, oh God, this horrendous attempt after attempt after attempt. And I'm just like getting so burned from it. And then the other factor is I'm seeing people leave, like in groups. Like some people, it's not even like they wait 2 to 3. It's like they just wait for their 2, 3 other homeboys, and then they all roll out together unabashed, right? Like the mic yesterday, right?
Oh.
So at No Fun Bar, there's a mic, and they specifically go, try to stick around and be supportive for the whole mic, but if you do get up and leave, we'll just boo you, you know? So like that's their strategy, right?
Yeah.
A whole horde, right before you got there, actually, a whole horde of people just like left immediately. All together. And then there was also individuals that left like right after the set. No one booed. I, out of the kindness of my heart, did my set, went up to the host and was just like, thanks for a great mic. And he goes, wait, are you leaving? Yo, guys, boo! I was like, I'm just trying to be nice. Man, I could have just fucking headed out too, you know?
To be fair, that is a late mic too. So.
It is that's the other thing, man. It was already midnight.
That's on Ludlow, right?
Yeah.
I think so. That was yesterday, right? It's like 11ish.
It starts at 11. So it's a great mic, but yeah, man. If you're not in the first like 2-3 groups, you know, I went up at just after midnight. So I was like, I'm not sticking around for this. And then there was one other factor.
Was it still a good amount of people there?
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's a late bucket.
And there's also a late bucket. So actually,
it gets packed out.
Right before I went up, and a bunch of people had left. Actually, a bunch of people came in.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. But yeah, the one other factor that's made me so just like I'm starting to get jaded, just like everybody else. So like at this point, I'm just like headed out because I'm starting to do more mics. So I want to catch another mic and I want to get out of there. But also, so I work out in Iowa and I live in New York. When I'm out in Iowa, there's only 2 mics a week. But the trade-off is there's regular people there. So like it feels like you're being booked on a show.
Right.
So now, even though I'm still new to stand-up, I am getting booked. I'm doing regular shows, and then I got to come back to these open mics, and I'm just like losing my brain. I'm just like, fuck, And I'm not going up early. I'm always in the last bucket. Always. Wonder why. Always. And that shit just eats away at me. So eventually, I'm just like, yo, I'm out.
Either you got to go to the mics where they do like first come, first serve, but you got to get there early.
That's the problem, because then even for those, it's like, great, I'm 13th.
Or you got to get the host of the mics.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I'm only 6 months in, so that's been a little tough for me. So I'm still new.
No, I definitely respect a certain attitude, because there's comics out there that I feel like are very entitled, and they're like, I'm way too good for this, blah blah blah. Like I should be on shows, because there's a lot of that. But as long as guys, you can tell like they're humble, they stick around, they're nice guys to you, and they're just kind of just working on their own stuff, and you respect them for that much. But some guys,
if people I know are there and I've seen their material before and they're actually funny, I will stick around for that.
Right. And then, but there's some guys that are just, I'm too good for this, blah blah blah, and then so they kind of standoffish, and so that to me, I don't like that attitude, and so if they come, I'll definitely factor that into how I rank my. But for the most part, it's usually the New York comedy scene. It's just very welcoming and a lot of friendly people.
Yeah,
as long as you.
A lot of dope people, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Dope people.
Do you go to actual shows often, or not really?
To hang out?
Either to hang out or to just see, actual comics. Outside of the shows that you're booked on or open mics, like, are you going to see?
Yeah. So if I'm not booked, right, and I want to get out and I don't have anything else to do, and a homie of mine is booked on a show, whether it's at a club or it's at like an independent show in a certain spot, I'll go check it out. Like my guy Petey, Better. It's on Broome Street. I think the room's called Better Days. Yeah. He does a weekly there every Wednesday at like 9:30ish. Very dope, and like big names always dropping. Like when I was there, they had like I think Dulce Sloan was there. Oh, wow. A couple other like SNL. Sam J was there, but like a lot of times they won't even come to perform. They'll just hang out. Mitch Patel was hanging out there, and it's dope. It's a great vibe. He always pack it out. Super cool. What other rooms?
That's every week, you said?
Every week, every Wednesday. So there's that. Who else got a room? Shit, I'm trying to like low key plug. But nah, like when they come to mind,
yeah, sure. Yeah. Do you ever do the big spots like Gotham, Comedy Cellar?
I was fortunate enough to do. I did not the Cellar, but I did Fat Black.
Oh, okay.
So that was very, very.
Oh, actually, yeah, I saw that set on YouTube. Yeah.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Gotham, I've only done once earlier on, but it was like a bringer, so it doesn't count.
Okay.
Caroline's once, never did it again. I don't really do clubs like that. Like, the only club I'm past that right now is Westside Comedy Club, and I do like a spot there like once a month maybe. But there's very great people, very dope shows always, so that's cool. I'm trying to get in New York, but that's a whole different, just politics and stuff like that. And then the Strip, I failed my first audition there, so I don't even. They're just like, but yeah. Otherwise, I'm just hanging out like at shows homies are producing or that they're on. We hang out a little bit afterwards, and that's it. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have my audition at Comic Strip coming up in August. So.
You was were you were on that crazy
line? Yeah.
Yo, I've never seen anything like that.
Why is this not just an email? This is so stupid.
I don't know.
I know one comic, she got past there.
Okay.
So.
I mean,
I've heard a lot of no's too.
Yeah.
In the community, but
I mean, I don't really take getting past or failed at the clubs too seriously.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Like, earlier on, I thought it was about funny versus not funny. I don't think that's necessarily like they know what they're looking for before you even come to audition.
Right.
You got to keep in mind like it's a business at the end of the day. So it's like if I'm a comedy club booker, owner, whatever the case may be, and I'm looking for new comics to give opportunities to form my club, and I look at your act. But I have 3 other comedians that I book regularly that have that same act. I can't pass it.
Right.
You understand? Versus like, I have like, I don't know, 3 white guys that talk about like vegan shit and Tinder. And you're like this Indian dude that like talks about life in, I don't know, wherever in Iowa. Fuck it, come on in. Because I've seen people bomb their audition and pass. And like I did fairly well on mine, but I'm assuming maybe I just didn't fit what they were looking for. Maybe there's someone else that performs there regularly that has my kind of material.
Yeah, Nico stole all your jokes.
That's funny.
The rooms are very attuned to who their audience is in the room and what they like.
True.
And so even though your stuff might kill in, but a certain club, it's, demographics are different.
Right.
Yeah, so, it's a lot of different factors. And then a lot of times they don't explain to you. They just said, "Oh, you need more jokes, or you need more work, or your stage presence was off."
Have you done it before? Have you done that?
So I haven't, but I've talked to enough people.
Oh, okay.
Right now, I just, since I'm kind of, I guess, relatively new to the New York scene, it's just more focusing on networking and just writing better stuff that I'm happy with. Like that's at once. Like I'm just right now, I'm very content with just writing a new material, stuff that I like, stuff that I want to talk about, and that doing well, that's like good enough for me. I think, eventually that's like the next step, the milestone, like getting past that clubs, I'm starting to get booked on shows and stuff, and then, I'm getting these like hosting opportunities. And so there's other forms of validation that's why I think when I stopped, because when you're doing it in Cincinnati, so let me tell you about the Royce room. I used to do this room in Kentucky, and they bar room. So there's already like this connotation that are funny, but there you can still smoke in bars indoors. It's still legal there, and so it was just a bar room. People were chain smoking. People didn't care, and the stuff that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I don't see you catering to that.
Right. So, but it's just me up there, just like fighting every day, or not every week, until it's just. That wears you down. Whereas like here, you have a bad set, you can go turn around and have a great set, or like meet somebody like, hey, like I like this joke. And so there's more, I guess, there's more ways to gauge your progress here. And then, things that self-affirm, or like reaffirm you or kind of push you, and so like positive feedback.